Welcome to 52 Weeks of Hope. I'm so excited to be live here with Latha Jay.
Hi, how's it
Uh,
going?
Yay! So I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself, and I'll try to find out why I'm so fuzzy looking, but it's okay. You're super clear on
Okay.
here. So, yeah.
Hi, everyone. My name is Latha Jay. I'm a spiritual manifestation coach and content creator on Instagram and TikTok. I'm also a best-selling author of the Law of Attraction Manifestation Journal, and I have my second book coming out in a few months in May, actually. So I'm
Oh,
super excited about
yay.
that. Yeah, it's all about shadow work. It has some really good um, information on it about doing some self-care rituals, which are super important, as well as self-love exercises, and really a lot of shadow work questions and prompts. That's probably one of the biggest kind of questions I get from clients all the time. So I was like, let me write a book about this. I actually teamed up with one of my good friends, Valerie Inez, to co-write this book together. And it's awesome. So it actually comes out May 16th, I think, mid-May, and I'm really excited about it. I also teach clients how to really optimize their life at the end of the day and really manifest what they want in it in a practical way. I do absolutely blend in the spiritual and traditional aspects, but I live in the modern world and so do you, right? So
Yeah.
we really blend. I blend in practical things you can do on a daily basis to shift your mindset and really change your perception of what your life is like and what it can be like, which really is profound. So
Yay. And there's an episode that's out on 52 Weeks of Hope,
mhm.
and I will get the number of what that is exactly. It's episode 137, and it's how you can manifest anything. It's such a great episode, and you can manifest anything. And you go through the different steps and really how you have to feel into it and be specific and the it's just ripe with all kinds of great information for you, which I love, and I can't make myself not fuzzy, but so be it. And you're super clear. My insides are super clear, so there you go. um
That filming that podcast was so fun, and it just like being able to talk with you and chat and just
yeah.
just kind of go off the cuff with it was just so much fun. I really enjoyed it, and being able to go through the steps of manifesting and just trying to teach people it's you can do it. Like I want to say it's so easy, but I know that that's not the perception that a lot of people have, so that's okay. But it's so attainable, and a lot of
Yeah,
times people often
good
think
adjective.
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of times people will say like, "Oh yeah, you can manifest, but I can't." I'm like, "No, it's not a special gene or skill or anything like that. It's really everybody has the ability to do it. It's just whether you do it or not, you know? It's like going to the gym, everybody has the ability to pick up a box that maybe weighs 20 pounds, but maybe it's really, really hard if you haven't been doing that, right? But maybe you'll start lifting 5 pounds and then you lift 10 pounds and then you kind of get used to it. Then you can lift to 20 pounds or more. And it's the same thing with manifesting. Once you build up your confidence in your own abilities, happens like that.
Yeah. So what if somebody isn't clear on what it is? They want so much.
Yeah.
And so what would you tell them to how to start?
I would say get clear on it. Try to go for one thing because especially in the beginning, if you look at everything, you say, I want everything. Well, that's amazing. But then your energy is like kind of everywhere, right?
Diffuse,
If you think
diffused.
about it diffuse, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you think about it, like, the light that comes out of a light bulb is everywhere, right? You could bright a whole room with it, which is amazing, but the same light focused in one point becomes a laser, and that can cut through steel, like, you're making some big things and that you're cutting through, like, some heavy metals and doing all like, a lot of work there, so I wanna encourage people to be really focused on something, because also once you obtain it, once you're able to manifest it, you're like, "Ooh, I did that. I did that." And then your confidence grows and grows and grows. And then yes, you can manifest whatever you want. But a lot of times when we go for everything, we get overwhelmed. And then we're like, "Oh, I can't do nothing," I gotta
Yeah.
take a nap. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
exactly. It just makes you tired. That's a good way to put it. Okay, so the energy is really intense this week with so much
Yes.
fabulous energy. Can you talk about that some? Because I've just gotten even more of an education with we're like straddling the Pisces energy and the
Yep.
Aries energy,
Yep.
and there's the new moon, and there's just so much happening, and it's all exciting. And I was told to look where I've been since 2009. I'm like, that is a long time ago.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So, what's with that, with the 2009 and look through for that? So, And I
Okay,
know it's all exciting, so
it's so exciting, right?
yeah,
But, so basically on Monday it was the equinox, which is like
yeah.
the beginning of spring. You're welcoming in, a rebirth. Everything's coming back. I mean, even here in Pennsylvania, the weather shifted. All of a sudden, it was snowy on Sunday, and then on Monday, it's like, woo, the sun's out. Snow is melting, and hold on, let me put this on. Um, and then, Tuesday was the new moon, which is all about manifesting and bringing new into your life and, creation, which is amazing. And then today we're in the astrological new year. So it's like more of this energy of just like really moving forward moving energy. And there's no planets that are currently retrograde, which is amazing, right? Which is, I mean, I don't want, because then, when I say it's amazing, it makes it sound like, oh, when planets are retrograde, it's terrible, which isn't the case, right? When things are retrograde, it kind of gives you time to reflect and decide on what you don't want, because it can kind of stir up some chaos in your life sometimes, right? I think of it like if you put a stick to the bottom of a pond and you mixed it up a little bit, all the mud comes
All
up,
the muck, yeah, there it
and
is.
it gets a
Yeah,
little
because I wanna welcome anybody
sticky.
who's watching the replay, because most people watch this on replay anyway, so, it'll apply to all kinds of people, so go
Mhm.
ahead. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So it's just like when the planets are retrograde, that's what's kind of happening. But it gives you time to see things up in the air so you can see, I want more of this in my life and I don't want this. So I'm gonna push it away, right? Or I'm not gonna include that in my life anymore. So it gives you a lot of insight when the planets are retrograde. But when they're not retrograde, you're kind of like, I'm running and there's nothing holding me back.
yeah.
You're moving full force forward, which I think nothing is retrograde until the end of April, if I'm correct. So we got a couple of weeks to go. And I want to encourage people that are listening to this to really focus on what it is that you want. A lot of times we get caught in this idea of, I don't want that. I don't want a partner who cheats on me. I don't want someone that smokes. I don't want more debt. It's so easy to identify things we don't want, but it's like identify what you do want. I want financial stability. I want a faithful partner. I want someone who's healthy and wonderful. Like focus on what it is that you want. And that's the power. That's where you want to put your energy towards, right? Rather than all the stuff that you don't want.
Yeah, focus on the positive, I mean, where your energy goes, that's what grows,
Yes,
so
absolutely.
definitely, I love that. So what's the deal with the 2009? There's something like, do you have any
Yeah.
idea what,
So the
like,
2009 here, I wanna do the math on it before I say anything, but, so this is 2023.
that we haven't been like, we're coming out of something that we've been in since 2009, and we're
Yeah,
gonna be there for the next, like, whatever, however long, some
it's
long
like a
period?
14-year, cycle, so it happens, like,
Okay,
once every
that's
generation.
14. So that's
Yes,
14 years,
and
okay,
I believe that it was Pluto, and when Pluto is now moving out of, like, our cycle into a different cycle, so
okay.
it's just kind of, like, opening things up for you. And it helps you to really create something anew, and it's kind of rare because it doesn't happen all the time. It happens like once every generation. I want to double check if it's Pluto, because let me not say that
It
wrong.
is. Yeah, I have notes on it
It
somewhere,
is
but
Pluto.
it's okay. It does, I know that energetically, there's a really good time to manifest. We could put
Yeah.
it that way.
Yes,
I
yes.
do know that, because I have a workshop this weekend about getting clarity and confidence, and I
Oh,
was like, "Yeah,
perfect
this is like,
timing.
yeah, great time for that."
Uh-huh. So
So,
this is what my note says, right? So Mercury sextiling Pluto, which leads to deeper communications, mental clarity into secrets, hidden things, forbidden and psychological matters. It's a great time for doing research and investigation, and it's very favorable for all business activities or negotiations, especially such as regarding mutual shared resources and others' resources. It really supports travel arrangements as well as reading people's thoughts and increasing your own intuition. So seeing beneath the surface is great, and it also allows for a greater understanding. So that's what
yeah,
it
and I was taught that really don't forget to turn inward. Do your
Yes.
meditation for, and get with a Jay's journal. Like journaling's huge, huge, huge for this. So if you, yeah. So definitely your journal is amazing. And can you talk about the 369 in your journal?
Yes, absolutely. So
Yeah.
369 is actually one of my favorite manifestation methods. It plays on the idea that Nikola Tesla actually had brought up, that the numbers 369 could unlock the universe, right? So in it, you're utilizing an affirmation that you are writing 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times at night. And I advise that you write the same thing again in the morning, afternoon, and night. The reasoning for this is that it stays present in your mind, and it stays in your focus, right? So when you're thinking about it in the morning, you're writing a couple times. Think about it in the afternoon, you're writing it a couple times. You're thinking about it in the evening, you're writing it a couple of times. It's on your mind. And when something's on your mind, that's where your focus is going. So that's where you're going to kind of start to see things again and again. This is actually based in neuroscience. If you want me to nerd out, I totally can. But particularly the reticular activating system in your brain. So in this place, this is where your brain kind of perceives patterns. So when you are training your brain, hey, this is my affirmation, this is what I'm creating again and again and again, it starts to believe it. And then it's going to start pointing things out that are in relation to it. It's like the algorithm of your mind. And this is how manifestation works, because all of a sudden you're going to see an opportunity that you never would have seen otherwise, because now you're tuned into it. Now you're seeing the patterns of it again and again and again. So it's a really powerful method for manifesting.
Okay, so when you do 3, are you doing 3 different affirmations, and then 6 you're doing the 3 repeatedly? No. So you
No,
do
so
one manifestation 3 times, then you do that same same affirmation
affirmation,
6 times,
correct.
and then you do that same affirmation 9 times.
Yes. So this is the way that I teach it, because this is the way that I do it and I've seen it work. Rather than changing things up, but really staying consistent with it again and again and again. Also, in the morning, I always encourage people to do this as soon as they wake up in the morning, like before you brush your teeth or get your cup of coffee. Like you wake up in the morning, you're still kind of crusty, you roll over and you start to write. It's only 3 affirmations. You can do it. Because that's when your brain is the most permeable to any kind of suggestion. So rather than rolling over and looking at your emails on your phone, or, getting up and trying to do all the other stuff that you got to do in the morning and rushing into your day, focus on what you want to create in your life. Focus on those affirmations. Focus on what it is that you want to manifest. And the same thing happens at nighttime, right? Right before you go to bed, you want to do you write down your affirmations and then go to bed. So these 2 times, in the morning and at night, they're called hypnagogic states. This is the state of consciousness between rest and wakefulness. And that's when your subconscious is the most impressionable. So it's kind of like the hack to the hack of manifesting, the hack of getting into your subconscious and actually being able to believe what it is that you're saying. Because sometimes, when we create an affirmation, we're like, okay, sure. You kind of roll your eyes at it sometimes, at least I do. But when you really get into it and you really feel it and you really start to feel the power of it, that's what gets your affirmation, that's what gets your manifestation moving, right? If you're just writing it like a robot and you're not really feeling it, if you're not really into it, then what's the point?
So what kind of affirmation? Give some examples of really good affirmations that people have been using.
Sure. Well, it depends on what it is that you're manifesting, right? Your affirmation is personal and customized to whatever it is that you're manifesting. So let's see. Commonly, people, you're usually manifesting love or they're manifesting money.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Finance and romance. Yeah.
Love, okay, romance. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So I always start my affirmation statements with I am. So I am,
Always.
and then
Yes.
I add in an emotion. So mine's is always happy and grateful, because those are the strongest
Yeah.
emotions that I feel connected to. You can choose other ones if you feel more connection to those. So I'll say, I am so happy and grateful now that, particularly using the words now, because I'm
Yes.
declaring it in the present tense,
Mhm.
not when, not later, and now. I'm saying it's happening now. It's in my present. Um, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am you want to use specifics here. So I am dating, married to, have an incredible partner. You decide, right? So I am so happy and grateful now that I am married to an incredible, funny, faithful, loving man who is excited to become a father. If that's what I wanted to create. Now,
Okay.
if you are just dating around and having a fun, flirtatious relationship, you might write something like, I am so happy and grateful now that I have this really cool guy in my life who is fun and flirtatious, and we get to go salsa dancing every, Friday night or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Whatever it is
yeah.
that you want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
create for yourself, but really bring your emotion into it and make it realistic for you, right? Make it associated with what it is that you want to see in your life and customized. And no one can really choose that but you.
Yeah.
No one can really create that for you, because the emotions that come up when you say certain things, right? The emotions that you feel when you use certain words. So the words are the power here, and that's what's really important
Definitely. Okay, so now do one for finance.
for finance. Okay. I would start at the same. I am so happy and grateful now that I have an additional $20,000 in my bank account. I am so grateful that I am living in financial stability. or whatever it is, if it's
Yeah, yeah.
$100,000 or $40,000 or whatever. But I always kind of tell people to specify the amount, because when you say something like, I'm so happy and grateful now that I have more money, more
Yeah,
money.
that
Okay,
could
great.
be, yeah,
I
it could
gave
be
you a dollar
anything. Yeah, right. It could be,
and you
that
got
could
more
be like,
money,
yeah,
but then you
more
look at
than
the
what?
dollar and you say, this is not what I wanted.
Yeah, more than what? It's all relative. Yeah, it's like, yeah, yeah,
Be specific.
definitely.
That's the
Yeah.
whole point.
Specific is very important, and feeling into it. And it has to be believable to you. Like if you don't believe what you're saying in your affirmation, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I want to encourage people, like, even if you don't believe it at first, don't give up on it right away, right? I'll tell you honestly, for me, a lot of times I'll write an affirmation and I do roll my eyes at them sometimes in the beginning, maybe the first day or two, but I'll stick with it. And then I start to believe it more, and I start to believe it more, and I start to believe it
Yeah.
more. But it's only when I get over that little hump of disbelief and kind of like, oh, this, and
Yeah.
get into
Yeah.
it and really start feeling into it, that it actually starts to like penetrate into my mind, make any shifts, and then like shifts my emotions, my attitude, the way that I see the world, and the opportunities that I come across, right? Because the thing is, like, until we believe it, we're not even open to any kind of possibilities happening until we truly, truly believe it. And once we have that opening, then these opportunities come our way. But a big part of manifesting is not just that you have all these open opportunities and you sit there like a lump on a log. You have these open opportunities and you go for it.
Yeah.
That's where
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
magic is, right? So it's like moving in aligned action is super important in the space of manifesting.
And I know you're big on crystals. So are there certain crystals that you should have around or that you should hold while you're like saying the manifestation? Or
I love
I have
crystals.
crystals everywhere. So I'm
I
like,
love
which one should I
crystals.
grab? Well, I ask you. Yeah.
Me too. Yeah, like I
Yeah.
wear them. I have them all around my home. Like I love crystals.
Yeah.
Big crystal fan. I will also say you don't need anything
No.
other than yourself to manifest, period. And if you wanted to use crystals to supplement in there because you really like them and you feel like there's a connection there, awesome. I got some great crystals to tell you about, right? So amethyst is one of my favorite manifestation crystals. It has this energy of just really like amplifying. So I really like that. Citrine is great for manifesting abundance and wealth, money things. Awesome for that. Clear quartz is it's one of the master crystals. So any other crystals that you're working with, it can kind of boost that energy and kind of add to it. It's all about calling things in. Emerald, if you work with emerald, that's really beautiful as well. Uh, pearl, I know pearl isn't a crystal, but you can work with pearl in the space of manifesting as well. So those are probably like my top favorite ones.
Okay. Those are great. And what are you working on right now? Did you I mean, your book is kind of everywhere, and you're working on your second book, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
And Latha Jay is huge on TikTok. If you don't know, they make you so happy just looking and going and seeing her TikToks. They just are fabulous, and they're chock full of all kinds of really practical, you can do right this minute tips and tools.
Mhm.
Um, and you have a farm, which is just beyond interesting to me. Like,
Yep.
and 2 kids, 1 on the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And did you just get back from it? Did you just do one of your masterminds or?
Yeah, so I also host trips in Costa Rica for content creators mainly. And the reason that I host it for content creators is because that's where I feel the most drawn to people that are creating content in the spiritual wellness, mental health space, essentially. And I get to have this opportunity to kind of work with them, become their friends, create this community with them. And it's really cool. This was actually the second one I hosted, and we've already started to plan the next one for
Wow.
2024, which I'm really, really excited about. It's such a beautiful week. We usually take people there for 7 to 8 days. We stay at an incredible resort. We go on all kinds of adventures, and we host workshops for people to learn more about, increasing your wealth through content creation, which is like a huge thing. A lot of times I'll have incredibly talented content creators come and they say, "Yeah, and I work 3 other jobs." And I'm just like, "What? Excuse me?" And it's always just like, wow, imagine if you could earn a living doing what you loved, you know? Imagine how much better off you would be and the world would be because you could be focused on actually creating your content. So, we foster them in so many different ways to help them to grow. We create this little community in which everybody really helps everybody else out. So you're on each other's podcast. Oh, when you see an opportunity, you're like, I know the person that could be great for this, and you refer them, and it's just been this beautiful kind of environment that's growing and growing and growing. So, we are almost actually we just started to fill the one for 2024, and it's almost already
Wow.
full. So it's been incredible.
Oh, that's amazing, especially since you're having your 3rd child. You're like,
Yeah,
"I'm
yeah, yeah.
planning for
So
that." Yeah.
yeah,
You
this
can
summer.
manifest anything. See? See that? Yes. You absolutely yeah, you can manifest anything at
I
all.
will say I have a very busy summer this summer. We're having
Yeah.
a baby. We're remodeling our house. We live in a little cottage on a farm, and we're remodeling it. And it's been a whole adventure, really. It's been really incredible. I'm just really blessed to have an incredible partner who really supports me in all of the crazy ideas that I come up with.
Yeah.
And I mean, I call them crazy because I know other people have called them crazy, but they're just big, and people would be like, "What are you trying to do?" And to me, I'm just like, this is just how I live. I play a very big game, in the game of life. I play the biggest, the most all out game that I can. And I'm a big believer of I can have it all, you know?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah. Why
that's,
not?
yep.
Why
Hmm.
not? If
Yep.
you can
That's
see it,
the
you can
thing.
be it. I mean,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Yeah, there's a reason it's been put in your head. So,
Yep.
oh, I love this. Thank you so much for going live, and for everybody who's watching the replay. We appreciate it. All the links for Latha Jay are below. So, and as soon as we have her next book, we will add that to it as well. And yeah, this has been so much fun. We will
It was
have
so
to do
good.
it again.
Yes, I'd love to. And you know what? Next time I can bring my co-author, Valerie Inez. I'd love to have a
Oh,
conversation
yeah.
with
Oh,
everybody
that
on this.
yeah, that would be fabulous. I would
Yeah.
love to have both of you on here. Yay.